Alrighty, welcome everybody to the podcast. Welcome to TPP, the Peasants podcast. We are the community's DayZ console podcast, featuring owners, coders, streamers, and the players from the game we all love. We discuss everything from updates to ideas to help the community and devs understand what it's like to play and operate a console DayZ. I'm the Greedy Peasant. I'm a Twitch streamer, content creator, and I'm out to show off what console DayZ could do with the tools they have, and of course its community. We have our co-hosts. Our co-hosts come from each side of the DayZ playstyle. She doesn't realise she's on shout. ADKCue is a massive role player with the love for survival aspect of the game, and Smileysgotagun Whos is out to meet the weird and wonderful people of DayZ. So we welcome everybody to the podcast. How is everybody going? So today we've got Shorty Boy from Judgment DayZ. Judgment DayZ is a massive server. We've been on there before. Absolutely hectic mods. We were talking to him in the pre-show just beforehand. Man, this man puts in some hours. So definitely join us. Of course, we're going to have our question time. So brew up your questions for when it's question time and make sure you dump them out there. But apart from that, welcome to the show. Let's get it into it.
All that stuff keeps going. Getting everyone
Stop for us old
involved.
fellas from just camping inside our houses because we don't want to go venturing.
Yeah. You're telling everyone else to push. Like, come on, why aren't you pushing?
Oh, it's gorgeous lot. Hello. Welcome, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
So,
Morning.
Or good morning for you.
good morning for you. Be good evening for you, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir. It is 7 o'clock at night where I'm at.
Ooh.
That's any early then for you.
That's it. He's partying all night. He's got another 7 hours of editor to go after this.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yep.
On my left-hand side, I have Sean from Judgment DayZ. We have our regular co-hosts, Smileysgotagun and ADKCue. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast.
Morning.
So,
How you doing?
we were going very, very well. So we're going to kick off, first of all, with our competition time. We're running a competition about community feeling. I'd like to see screenshots of your community and or group or yourself somewhere in the land of console DayZ. Our sponsor, DayZ TraderBot, is giving away some subscriptions to the TraderBot, which include a kill feed and with a global leaderboard. To enter the competition, we just got to post a screenshot of the largest group of people possible in one scene with the hashtag group love. The winner will receive a 6-month sub to the TraderBot as well as the kill feed just to help cut those costs. We've also got 2 other smaller prizes, one for the most creative group, which is hashtag family values, and one for the best solo, which is hashtag lone wolf. Both those winners will receive a 1-month subscription to the TraderBot. So competitions close August 14th, which I think is next week. I've had plenty of entries for it, which is good. And winner will be announced on the following podcast. So definitely get involved in that, save some costs for your owner. Alright. So the only other news and events we have currently kicking off is September 10th. There is Suicide Awareness Day. The DayZ community is coming out in force. It's going to be a full day event for console mixed with PC. GDS Queen is currently organising that. I actually saw a picture of some jumpers she had made up, which look absolutely gorgeous. We're actually going to throw on a mental awareness day on the podcast, and we're also going to do a triathlon afterwards. So definitely get involved in that. That's September 10th. But after all that big rundown, let's get in a little personal, a little one-on-one. Ooh, see, got her all
I've
excited.
washed my fingers.
I should
Ooh, what's up?
I should get you to do the one-on-ones. You get all excited and I know.
Oh yeah. Could I ask whatever I wanted?
No, well,
Oh,
that
I'd love
Yeah, I
that.
was just say,
Oh,
it could
I'd
be
really
a bad
get into
idea.
it.
yeah.
It
So-
could really be a one-on-one.
Yes. It'll get very intimate.
I need to know what you're like on the inside and outside.
Well, might have to cut the podcast, Greedy.
Ooh.
We do this shit live, man.
That's it.
We do this shit live.
All right. Keep your call and your guests till after the show.
Sorry.
Tell me why we don't let her do one-on-ones without telling me why we don't let her do one-on-ones.
One day.
One
One
day.
day he'll wake up sick.
Yep, and she'll have to
And
take
We'll
over.
have to have a replacement.
Yep, it's already queued up too. Oh shit! Afraid to go
Oh
with
yeah.
it. All right. So, sure. What's the name of your server, and what's it about? Give us a little rundown.
So, yeah, for sure. My server name is Judgment DayZ or Judgment Days. Everyone calls it either or. And my server is now a KOS server with one safe zone in it, which is Scalicity Island. But other than that, I mean, I tried to take the server and make it into an apocalyptic feel more than what it already is, like beyond what it is. So that way it actually feels like you're playing like, you know, in a zombie apocalyptic world that's been like this for as long enough for buildings to decay, you know, windows to break and such. So tried to bring the actual real feel of the game back into the game, more or less. Kind of like a smash between Fallout and DayZ, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no,
A lot of lore.
I definitely agree. I think you, after my time on it, I think you've nailed that quite well. I enjoyed myself at the action in Scowl Island with the trucks driving over and how many people buzzing around the trader, and it was full of action. And yet out in the landscape, people were hidden away and, you know, scarce, and there was a little bit of action out there, but there was still, you know, it wasn't as busy as Scowl Island.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what was your inspiration to get started and start creating servers or formulating Judgment DayZ?
So it kind of goes back in time. So I ended up like probably 10 years ago. I ended up going to college for programming. I have a degree of applied science in software development and in networking. So and then I stopped doing it. And then I came and started playing DayZ for a few years, and I started messing with community servers after playing on official for so long. And I got kind of inspired that I could take coding and start making my own thing, you know. And that's the one thing. As soon as I saw how empty the map was, I was like, I'm gonna fill it. I'm just gonna do everything I can, get a smooth running server, and fill it with as much, you know, change of scenery as I can. So, yeah, I mean, it was kind of just a mix of things, but definitely this game has a lot to it, and it's still getting updated, which is going to be a beautiful thing, especially if they do release DayZ too.
Oh yes, the talk about DayZ too. That's a very interesting little subject, and I think Armory Forger is going to path that little era first off, and then it will merge across back to DayZ too. I think time.
Yeah.
I think
yeah, for
time will
sure.
repeat itself.
It has to, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's a strange event, isn't it?
Yeah. They're making too much money, man. Way too much money not to keep it going, more or less. They got a lot of opportunity, especially with the current DayZ running on a dual engine versus the new stuff like Armor Forger and Beyond is all running on a single game engine system for the Infusion.
Yep.
So it's not split. You won't have anything flying. It'll be a million times different once they actually get it down pat.
Yeah, well, I remember when they first did the upgrade of the engine, how much better the game was. Obviously, they went through that drama and had to readjust some things, but it was still smoother than it ever was. So, gives that quality looking engine.
Oh yeah, that would be a game changer.
100%. So how long's Judgment DayZ been running for?
We have been operating since May 1st of last year, so a month and or a year and a few months, give or take.
Oh, well, happy first birthday.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, 100%. So, being that large extent of time, having a safe zone, obviously a server with a large community, what are some of the issues or problems you faced, getting it to where it actually is today?
To be honest, a lot of it had to do with because before I switched it to KOS, for the majority of its time, I would say probably a good 8-9 months of its beginning time, it was a split map. So it was KOS on one side, PvE, and we actually were like originally the first people to create the border wall, quote unquote, that went across the whole tier 2 and tier 3 outline.
Yep.
And that's kind of what got us started, like getting recognized. And then we eventually well, my bad. That took a lot of admins to run and run properly to do that style. And more or less, my biggest struggle was always finding an admin team that was able to not get burned out. And more or less, our style with how, you could talk to all the players on our server, toxic free, I make the admin team stay. It takes a lot to get them not to do certain things and agree to certain things. And, so the admin team, you don't have a good admin team, your server's going to fail. So to me, that was the main thing. I mean, toxic players is common. Everyone's going to have toxic players. And then, honestly, just DayZ botching updates. That's been the biggest server killer probably to date. No one wants to play servers that, you're waiting on other people to fix.
Yep, 100%. And especially when, the updates go to the point where they're destroying traders and it's causing massive amounts of lag and parts of the map are
Doing
unplayable.
unplanned wipes.
That's it. You're doing unplanned wipes. We know how detrimental a wipe can be to a server.
Yeah, it's hurt me a few times.
Yeah. So on the reverse of that, what have been some of the good moments that will stay with you beyond owning a server?
Honestly, it would probably go to what we were talking about before the podcast. Or I was talking to your co-host over here about meeting people around the world. I've met so many people over the last year and a half or so of running this server, and most of the people on my server, we have a good group of people that are like 20 to 30, but most of the people on the server are 30, 40, 50 years old. We're all a little bit older.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the group where we get in there. Now, we like the younger players, but, because they keep everything going. But the older players, they're more of our target area.
That's it. We're funnier.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got more common sense, too. But so meeting them, if I really needed to, anywhere I want to travel in the world, I have somewhere I could go stay. Just because I've built bonds with people that are unbreakable in this game.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the parts of the game that I really like is the whole, Billy Bob who you met on the coast 2 minutes ago turns into, your lifelong friend that you've now been talking to for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So
And you love it for the day.
that's it. Or your lover for the day. That's it. Or your BFF for the day. And a lot of people get that nobody for the day, where it's it's just a wave, and all of a sudden there's a little friendship, and it's on mutual terms, and they loot up. You see occasionally on Facebook people saying, "Hey, person on blah 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 server, we ran together, but we had no mics. Do you want to hook up for a run again?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't get that with any other game.
No, you really don't.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so how many hours do you spend a week involved with the game?
Pretty much as much as I can on my free time. just because of how big the server's gotten, and again, not having really trusting too many admins. So now the style we are, we don't need that many admins. A few admins makes everything work great. So, I'm able to spend a lot more hours on it instead of coding. So recently I've been able to probably put in a good 20, 30 hours a week. But on the other side, if I'm not on the server, I'm always on editor after work, or doing raw code or whatever I have to keep the server running, going through trouble codes every weekend. So definitely, more or less, if I'm not working or with my kids, I'm on the game or coding the game or doing something involving it.
Yep. Sleep comes second when it comes to DayZ coding, family, working, and all that stuff.
I know that's right.
So you were
Hey,
saying, yeah, go.
how many admins do you have? Sorry, I just want to know
No,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
how
get
many
in.
admins do you have? Just curious.
Active admins, right now I have, so I have multiple stages of admins. Discord admins I have that keep the Discord clean, have permissions to keep my economy going, and, pretty much are trustworthy people. You have to be in my server for 6+ months to even apply for any type of adminship. But I have I believe, or Discord admins who are actually all individual faction leaders. So it actually works out great. There's no like, hey, this faction's doing this, because they're all in the same talk. But
Oh
I
yeah,
also
that's good.
in game admins. I have like myself and one very active one who's on 24/7 who does most of the legwork for me, and then I have another one who keeps doing black market whenever he's got time and stuff like that. Other than that, we really don't have any other ones. I have a few co-owners, but they more or less have like an honorary position because they've been with me since the beginning.
Yeah, nice. So you got a full squad, man. Like a full
Yeah, yeah.
freaking more than a squad. You've got like a little village happening. Yeah, cool.
And,
Oh
and,
yeah.
Sorry,
and
I'm
that,
so super curious about that.
no, jump in anytime you like. That's a on the money question, because it is hard to give trust to somebody, to give adminship. I mean, it's very hard to run it by yourself 24 hours, but it takes a lot of time and trust to hand over your keys to your server and say, while I'm in bed, don't break it.
Right.
Yeah,
And
here's
you
my
guys,
baby.
Here's my baby.
all right, toxic admins are the #1 destroyer of DayZ servers.
Yeah, 100%. But I do like your idea of having in the Discord the leaders of the factions, the main, I suppose, the main drama queens.
Yeah,
that,
that's it, man.
yeah, actually
They're all
taking a
good
control.
people too, though.
Yeah, that's it. We all know what it's like when factions start to blue and start to get out of hand. When the troops are firing, some people just don't care and just unleash on everything in the world. Where some people are pretty chill, but having them in being part of the Discord, I guess, keeps them involved as well.
Yeah, very involved, and they're all older too, so it works out. And all of us are all in different time zones. So, there's Scottish admins, English, American, and yeah, so we're pretty much all the way around everywhere. So all time zones are hit. Right now, we're trying to get more event admins, I guess you could say, so that way we can do more out of our time zone events. Because the Discord admins, they could do events, but again, we're all adults, so we got to find someone who specifically got that time zone open to sit there and do events, so that way nothing gets like confused or whatnot. But yeah, everything works out great, honestly, so far with the new style we're running with. Yeah, it's very cakewalk.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. So, what's your hours in DayZ? What's your hours in editor?
Ooh, DayZ. I have, I believe on my main account, because I spend most of my time behind the computer. So on my main account, I think I have like 174 hours on this profile. But on editor, out of the last 365 days, I've logged 178 days on editor. Both of them, experimental and regular editor. So yeah, pretty much spent half my year building this server just to get it off the ground where it's at now.
That's crazy. That's that's
Dedication.
That's dedication. That's a lot of time. It's a lot of tinkering, and I've seen the work. You can go check out the video that about it. It's it's fine detail from start to finish. It's a very well set out, well brought together server. Even in my intro for my promo video, I actually finished the video with the billboard that I started with.
Yep.
Yep. So
The billboard is sweet.
yeah, it was sweet. it was quite a shock, especially how big it was, and I didn't notice it for the first 5 minutes.
That was pretty funny. I was sitting there standing by it, waiting for you, just
Yeah.
watching you on the coast. I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yep, there's Greedy down there, and here I am under the bridge, tinkering with other stuff, looking at, oh, look at this little place under here.
Yep. Greedy's little home.
Greedy's little home. No, that's absolutely wicked. Alrighty, well, we do appreciate you coming out to the podcast. We've got a few things we're going to roll through. We're going to roll through a little targets practice with Brian. And then, of course, we're going to get into our co-host takeover and our questions from chat. So we're going to get our little show on the roads early. So if you want to grab yourself a blaze with some bullets, Q, I think you could match him out with the shooting. Don't worry, he spends all his time on editor, so you'll be sweet.
Yeah.
I might have a chance this time.
Yeah.
I have the most deaths on the server.
You got this, Q. You got this.
Actually, Smiley, you could probably go. There's 3 sets of them, so you could even match them. See if you can beat the boys.
Yeah, that's it.
Easy. You sure
Easy?
you want me to show them up on like live stream?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
Just don't forget your scope. You need a scope. They're here.
Yeah, I got one.
Can I cause a disadvantage already, boss?
No, break your legs up.
You watch where you're aiming that,
That's it.
sunshine. You better aim that lower.
That's it. Follow me on top of the apartments. Target practice. We have our beautiful giant Bryans over here. This is the target you're looking for. So there are a few. There's obviously the one across. Number 2 is over in the west. Number 3 is on the long apartments. Ignore the ones right up the back. Number 4 on the edge of the apartments over on the further side. And number 5 on the little schoolyard over there that we saw earlier. Target practice is to take out all the bears as fast as possible. When you shoot them, they'll actually damage and look absolutely terrible. So we'll know if you got it or not. Once you've killed all 5 of your bears, yell out. Once you hear someone yell out, pull it up. No killing each other. I know we got guns, but lay it off for later. You can stand and be wherever you like. That doesn't matter. And the order that you shoot him is up to you. So
Wait, so we have a color each? We have a
yeah,
color each?
so Smiley's the beige, Cue's the dark one, and Sean, you're the white one. All right, so 1 there, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 on the office.
Oh yeah. Wait, where's my on the office?
Oh, it's where you're standing. Zoom in, or stand on this corner.
I see.
Yeah, because the bears they like to disappear on you, even though they're that big. All right,
I'll stand right here.
shooters, are we ready?
Yep, roger that.
3, 2, 1.
Done.
Oh, Sean done.
Oh, really?
Done.
Did he get this one over here?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I've still got 2 bears.
So,
Get good, Smiley.
Yeah.
bloody
Get
wet, mate.
good.
Get
Hey?
good.
Good.
It's those convoy events, man. Convoy events.
That's it. Target practicing. So.
We let him in. We let him in. Totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so good if they deflated it with a funny sound like Balloon Man.
Right.
But yeah, it's our winner, Mr. Sean. Man behind the editor. Still quick on the keyboard. Love it.
You know it.
Oh, yeah.
That was too easy.
I almost missed that
was
last
too
one,
easy.
though.
Yeah, that
I
one was
almost
too
had to hit it
easy.
with a double shot.
It was.
I saw it ruin. I was like, yes.
That's it. I thought it was going to be a little bit harder than that. But boom, 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 boom. Next time I'll put in fucking 30 targets. Oh, crap. She really needs to get laid, for fuck's sakes. Phil, you offering to fly over? Give it uncle's treatment.
Treatment. Little uncle love.
That's it.
Uncle
See?
will always keep you warm.
All right. This is where I take a step back and the co-hosts take over. They won't shoot you. That's at the end of the show. They won't. That's it. At the end of the show.
It's not the end
We won't
yet.
shoot you with the bullets anyway.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
worries.
I've been
Shoot you
prepared
with
then
jizz.
time
Yeah.
to time.
Yeah, cute. You just flashbanged him and then had a gun. So it was a little. It scares him sometimes.
A little on the edge. Yeah, all right, my friend.
Just jizzed in your eye. That's why you couldn't see anything but white for a while.
Yeah, we all know what that giant bang is.
Look, yep, wipe your eye.
That's it. And after these two are finished, don't forget, guys, you can lay out your questions yourself. So get them prepped, get them ready. All right, guys, all yours.
Weird. All right. Well, I've decided that every week I'm going to stick with the same beautiful question. So, sir, where is that one spot on the map that gives you the tingles? That one place that you just always love to go to and visit?
Your secret wank spot. You'd like to go and jerk off.
Yeah.
Probably up north of the map where all the rocks and cave, the little bit of cave system is.
Oh, up at
I like
Savet.
it up there. Yes.
Yep, definitely.
Ooh,
And what do you do up there? Paint us a word
Secret
picture.
things.
A secret, like a typical
do,
day in the life of secret cave stuff.
I do mountain things.
Or you mount things.
Mountain things. Ooh.
You mount things. Oh, what kind of things?
All the
Look,
time.
look. No getting
It's
smutty
very
yet.
luscious
You got
and
your
wildlife.
smutty
That's it. Hey,
Oh, sorry.
you gotta
it's not
keep.
my turn.
That's
I got
right. You
that.
gotta keep. It's clean and dirty. Clean and dirty. He's the alcoholic wipe
what
before
about
you
the-
get involved.
What about the Civet Caves
He's the
draws you
foreplay.
in there? Like, why did you start going there in the first place?
Why'd you start coming at the
Just
caves?
running the map. Running in the map, just running over there. I mean, they spent a lot of time in detail, actually detailing that part of the map out, and it's secluded, so not a lot of people go there unless they actually know how to run the map with gear, like on official servers. So I was just drawn to it just because I could stay away from everybody. Always been more of like a bushcraft base builder on official servers, so always stayed hidden by myself, more or less.
So with that being one of your favourite spot on the map, in your server, have you done anything to customize it?
I do have a quest line throughout my Discord. It's integrated in the Discord and throughout the game and stuff like that. Like, if you use Discord pretty well, you can run a quest pretty easy, and it's very detailed, so it's pretty easy to do. But I do have a part of a quest line back there, and then once these P3D files through Bohemia actually start working correctly, then I'm probably going to turn that into a gigantic cave system over there, with that little fishing town up north of Civet being part of like a cove town more than just actually sitting on the coast.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. Yeah, personally, I can't wait to see people start playing the Civet Caves. This is a beautiful area.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh, well.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for your time. I'm now going to
Yes,
hand
sir,
you over
yes,
to
sir.
the smutty one. Make sure you've got
Smutley,
your
they call me.
chastity belt well secured.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see what you're
they
saying.
pronounce my, ooh, hello,
It's just straight. Yeah.
boss.
Well,
Can
yeah.
I?
It's
Permission?
it's your segment. It's your segment.
Are we gonna go and have a look at that cave system or what?
I mean,
Is it my birthday? Is it my birthday? Sorry.
Well, you've now earned yourself a player. That's one way to earn yourself a player,
I
Sean.
got myself a new friend. All right, so I gotta paint a word picture. So I've got two questions. I've actually got two questions. All right, so the first one is, sit back, relax, get comfortable. Okay, so we've actually got a bit of a pandemic happening in Australia at the moment. A lot of you might not realize this, but it's a very serious fucking thing. Anyway, it turns out that all our koalas have chlamydia. So let's talk about that. So, one of the leading killers of Australia's endearing koalas is a debilitating bacterial infection, chlamydia.
Yep.
The idea of koalas with chlamydia, a common sexually transmitted infection. Just a little background in case some of the peeps in chat don't know what chlamydia is, haven't had it, or whatever. Common sexually transmitted infection in people. Recently drew chuckles on HBO's last week tonight, but the disease which is affecting quillas can now be known as quillas. In epidemic proportions, is hardly a laughing matter.
Lucky it's only affecting koalas.
Well, see, my
Yeah.
question is,
And
you
not-
Australians
Koalas.
always give Kiwis shit about fucking sheep.
I was thinking the same thing. Like,
Listen. What we do with our drop bears is our business, okay?
That's
They drop
it.
on us, it's not our fault. Like you said, if one drops in your lap, I mean, that's no fault of yours. That's just, that's just nature doing its thing. Anyway, guess my question is, which DayZ animal would you like to give chlamydia to, and why?
probably
Because I'm
the
keeping it
boars.
DayZ related.
Ooh.
Whoop, whoop.
Probably the boars.
Boars? Ooh, why?
I feel like they should be attacking
tell
people, and
us.
they don't. They don't attack people. They should be attacking people. In nature, they kill more people than bears do.
Ooh.
So you think that if you give a boar some chlamydia,
It'll get a little
it'll
get
turn
irritated.
pissed
on you
off,
and
yeah.
attack you?
Yeah, get a
Oh
little
yeah,
irritated.
it'll be heated. I'd be heated. Wouldn't you be heated?
I'd be
Well,
heated.
Should be heated when you go to the
Yeah.
toilet.
I
Wait,
said
what do we be
she
getting
was gonna be
heated about? Are we
heated if
getting
we kept
heated
going in
about?
that direction.
Are we getting heated about getting chlamydia, or are we getting heated about the process of getting chlamydia? I don't know.
I don't know. I guess you'd have to ask the pig that, the boar.
The boar. Yeah, right. Oh, this is all getting all fucking intimate and shit.
He's
isn't
got-
it? Goddamn.
He's got beef with boars. I want to hear that
We've
story.
talked about this. I have intimacy issues. Jesus Christ. Alright, I do have another section.
Yep.
We also, Australia is actually also have another epidemic happening at the moment, mainly in Melbourne. Not putting any fingers to people in Victoria, but you peeps are doing some dodgy shit down there. Literally dodgy shit. They have a gastro superbug happening at the moment.
Ooh.
Let's have a look. Yeah, Shigella. You know what Shigella is? Okay, so
It's
like
Shigella
3 days
causes,
on the
I think
shitter.
I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, it causes severe gastroenteritis. It is most common among returning travelers and gay men. Experts say because this one, I'll skip down. Okay, basically, it's a sexually transmitted gastrovirus. Bum, bum, bum.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Uh-huh.
So if any of your
Yeah.
friends have been constipated lately, you know why.
So does that mean that it's because your mates fucked the shit out of you?
Pretty much.
Yeah, literally. So if you're like putting your finger in your bum and then putting that same finger into someone else's bum, you could get Shigella. I get this full like astro superbug. That's pretty well what it's saying. So next time you go pegging, wrap it in plastic.
That's it.
Otherwise you're going to be shitting for weeks. So my next question is, oh, do we have any actually? First, before we move in, to the audience, are there any questions about Shigella? Would you like me to go through any scenarios on how you may get Shigella?
Pink eye for buttholes.
Pretty well. Yeah, you're gonna get pink eye from someone rubbing their penis all over your face
Tell us how you caught
put it after they've fucked you in the ass. So if you're having anal sex, tell them just to come inside, not near your eyes anyway, in a different orifice. I don't know where this is going.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, yeah, I got
yeah. She got lost.
Yeah, right. We have to relate this to DayZ somehow. Okay, so how many STDs do you have, and which one did you enjoy the best? DayZ.
Thankfully, I have not had any, actually.
Ever? You've never had an STD? Actually, neither have I. I've never had an STD either. Oh, man.
Jesus Christ, that makes me feel really bad.
Wait, how many have you had?
What you trying to say, buddy?
Q's got a list.
How many STDs have you had?
No comment.
3, but yeah, I might go into that.
Yes.
No,
Well,
go into it. Do what you do into it. Tell us
I've
which
had-
ones. Which ones have you had?
I've had your lovely drop beer virus clicked on me a few times.
Yep.
You get what I mean?
Have you? Yeah?
Yeah, it's pain in the
Have you been to
ass.
Australia lately?
Thank God.
He started the epidemic for sure.
Talk to the kids,
Oh.
not me, leave me alone.
No, you've only said one. I want to know what the other two are. I want to know what the other two are. We've got time today, don't we, boss? We have time.
No,
Today.
help me,
Just
Greedy.
tell us the other two. Just tell us the other two STDs, man, and I'll stop staring at you. Just say it. Just say it.
No,
Just wanna know.
that's an
Is it
afterwards.
like-
That's an afterwards.
Did it make
That's
it?
a-
Did it make it itchy?
Maybe.
Was it an
Maybe.
itchy one?
Maybe.
Was there a little scratch down
Harassment.
there? Yeah, a
Harassment.
little. Yeah,
Yeah,
look.
harassment. Get away! Get away! Ah!
Just take them off.
Shawnee
Take 'em
wants to
off,
know
let's
too.
see.
Yeah, just take them off. We'll just have a look at what damage, the scars that are left, and then we'll have a guess.
Josie with the
We have that
fucking
as a
line.
segment.
Oh my gosh, I'm back.
Yeah. Definitely warts. There were definitely warts there, boss.
You can smell it.
Hey.
You can-
Those warts are ribbed for her pleasure, thank you.
Oh yeah, a little extra bumpage.
Oh, Mr. Garfunkel, don't worry about how many I have. Come over and let's check some off your list. Oh, that's savage.
Who did you say that was Josie?
Hey, I don't know how you doing, bro.
Alright, hey, actually, speaking of one-lines, I heard this one the other day. As long as I have a face, you'll always have a place to sit.
And she was in.
Ta-da! Alright, so, yeah, Greed Star. Come on, man. How many you had? Come on.
None.
Yeah,
Honest
yeah,
to God.
yeah, have a year.
None.
Yeah, how
Never.
many you had?
No.
Yeah.
You've
Hey,
never had an
lies.
STD either?
No.
Look how
He
old
said
you
that
are.
really
You must have
soft,
had
and
at
he's
least
like,
one.
no,
No.
I haven't had
Yeah.
Fuck
it.
that.
You know when someone's voice goes up and soft, they go, no, I haven't.
No.
I haven't.
Hey, I'll fucking email you my medical records if you fucking like.
Yeah, alright.
Or,
Alright, so it's only Q that's the dirty whore in the group. Is that what we're establishing?
I
Yeah.
think so.
uh,
God.
the honest one.
No, seriously, I haven't. I'm a long-term lover type of girl. I'm
Yeah.
a long-term lover type of girl. So, yeah. Yeah, no, she's clean as a
same,
whistle
I'm-
down
No,
there.
I got traumatized by
I
my
was
mate.
bad when I was younger.
Yeah, I got traumatized by my mate because he ended up getting fucking herpes. So I was like, oh shit! Like in his
Oh.
first couple of
Oh,
episodes
that-
of venturing in that department. How about that?
Hey, you only get it once, man.
Yeah, you can only get a
catch
watch.
once.
Can't get fucking rid of it. And I'm like, whoa, I'm fucking
Yeah,
triple
exactly.
socking this motherfucker.
No, I make all my lovers do a pre-screening before I even touch them. They have to. There's a questionnaire and everything, and then there's a little waiver as well. It's a little waiver.
Scottish
It's like whole
translate.
50 Shades of Grey and shit.
Do you pass?
Just
Yes.
sign here.
What, right here?
All right, get in.
Got it.
That's it, Scottish.
Alright, that's my questions for today. How'd
We're
I
done?
do? We didn't cross any lines
Oh,
or health and
alright.
stuff,
Right.
all just to learn
Yeah.
how to protect ourselves when we're out there fucking koalas. And
That's right.
yeah,
Oh no, no, no.
Yeah,
sticking
so from
fingers
now
up
on,
people's butts.
You Aussies are going to be known as the koala fuckers.
Oh, I would like to see to bend into your co-host takeover. I would like to see a disease or a infection that was easily transferable player to player that would detriment you. Like literally, you know, you have to shit, you have to spew your guts out. You can't fucking
Oh,
move.
yeah.
It takes all your energy. You basically have to lay down and hold out for 20 minutes. But it's highly contagious.
Yeah.
So even if I just brush past you guys, you know, 10 minutes time, you guys start. And once it's done and dusted, it's over with. But
That'd be cool.
you could even incorporate it off a Z.
Imagine like someone like passed out in their own, and then they just like shit themselves.
That's
They're
it.
lying there in their own pile of shit.
Oh, here we go.
And you have to try and resuscitate. You're like, I'm not resuscitating that. Man.
That's it.
I ain't resuscitating that. I can just stay there. They walk around in their clothes are just like shit stained.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Well,
Well,
Or if like, or if you're like,
it could ruin your pants.
Yeah.
Ruin your pants. That's the outcome of it. You pass out. Your pants end up being ruined because obviously you've ruined them yourself. I think that'd be
you
something.
could definitely bring that in.
Yeah.
Or if they do
There's a
the
mod for PC.
Yeah.
There's a mod for PC that you have to wash. And if you don't wash, then you attract zombies more and more. So the more
Wait.
dirty you get, the more zombies get attracted to you.
See,
Holy
that's
shit.
that's a
the
cool
map,
idea.
man.
yeah, where are you washing though? Are you what, just like in a pond and shit or what?
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
like water sources. But you have to
Water
take all
sources.
your clothes off and then like you'd wash your hands, but it washes your body.
Look up Zen virus on Steam. Shit sounds wild. Okay, Zen virus on Steam. Okay,
I want to try that out.
don't worry
Oh,
about.
you getting ready to shoot him in the back of the head?
Yeah, we still got a little bit more.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, we got a little bit more question time. We got a little bit more question time than that.
Yeah, I got PTSD right now. I'm
That's-
waiting.
Don't worry. All our.
Hey, sit,
So
relax.
the last question,
Get
just so
comfy.
you know, the last
Sit
question
back.
is to do with freshies. So how long till you're no longer a freshie? Once that gets answered, then they'll probably. Once that gets said, they'll start shooting you. So kill them both, then answer the question.
Okay.
Hey. And then let's hope you get to.
If you can. Like to see
there.
if I could try. Yeah. Ugh,
Yeah.
that's tough speak.
Yeah,
Hey, it's 2-on-1 now.
so Steam has
We're
all
not outnumbered
kinds of
this
shit,
time.
dude. A disease you
Look at
get
us.
from
We're all up in
zombies,
our
different
leathers today,
stages.
too.
Human meat slows
Yeah,
down,
nice.
late
You're looking
stage, but
fire.
eventually you die.
We look good.
Wicked.
Literally on fire. We're actually melting in these leather jackets.
On its STD equals Scottish translation disorder. Facts.
We've all
Facts.
got that. We've all got that Scottish friend. We're like, oof, got to relax my mind and just try and let it
Let,
get in there.
let it do its thing. All right.
Yeah.
So let's get on with. Of course, if you got any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll flow through them as we go. So let's talk about the update with 1.22 on its way. How are you preparing your server for the update? Have you got any premeditated plans? Do you put any plans into action?
Usually a couple days before the actual update drops, I get pretty much most of the list of either what is going to be added into the server code-wise or item-wise or whatever it is getting changed with the server if I have to change code. I usually have access to that a day or two beforehand. Um, I've met, doing this for as long as I have so far, I've met a couple more established people than myself, and they definitely make sure that I keep ahead of the schedule as well. So usually, when a couple days beforehand, we'll be ready to start messing with code to where is all I got to do. Sometimes with how DayZ does their stuff, but usually, as soon as the restart or as soon as the update is coming, the day of, I'll already have the codes ready just to put in and be done, and hopefully everything goes as planned. But as far as actually getting the server prepped, I do troubleshooting every weekend on the server. Even if there's not something to troubleshoot, I work on my mods to make them more friendly, or I do something in regards to helping the server stability out. So we're already pretty much ready to roll whenever something's thrown at us, more or less. That's why I have so much time on the computer, is because I make sure that everything runs smooth, like pretty much 24/7.
Yeah, nice. So a lot of preemptive work, a lot of finding out what's going to come in, trying to get those file names, and so you can just drop it when it
Yeah.
happens.
Yes, sir.
Do you on every update? Do you wipe your server, or do you just carry on and hope that things are good? Because I find a lot of servers, if the update should wipe to help things integrate a lot easier.
So that's usually the case they've been doing the last year, is they've been forcing wipes even if they've been trying to avoid it. Now with this update coming up, they have a lot of back end stuff that they're fixing, and more or less is all we're getting is backpacks. So I already have a custom economy system. So how I'm going to integrate the backpacks, not how they are already going to release it. So I'm already going to be changing stuff as is. More or less, the code on my side, it will be able to be adjusted before it goes in to match my style of server. But yeah, I don't really have too many problems with needing to wipe. The only, like, we wipe April 20th of every year and October 20th of every year, every 6 months. Vehicle wipes come in between as well, just to kind of keep everything running good. But because of the last update being so, well, not the, I don't know if it's the direct last, but the one that was done in February, that update was so bad that we ended up doing it on 2/21 of 23. So we did it 2 months early, pretty much. Instead of April 20th, we did it 2 months early, because that was the duplicating one where everything was duplicating. All your
Yeah.
DE objects were duplicating, so I had a lot of builds that had DEs, so it put my server into complete chaos, and I had to pretty much rebuild from there, honestly, and just fix all my mods and everything else. So if we can get past it, we don't wipe. Yeah, we just try to stay on schedule, and if they force a wipe, then I mean, usually everyone's pretty well established and ready for a wipe anyway at that point. It gives them more opportunity to keep the game going and fresh, and makes them have to actually go out and play some more.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because I found
100%.
that's one thing that makes a big difference on a lot of the PC servers is that they set up to have actual regular wipes, so their community on their server expects their seasons in a sense to only last a certain amount of time. Whereas I found
Yep.
with console, a lot of the players seem to really, really hate wipes. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
because we're more into our base building and everyone has to start again, but yeah.
Well, and I believe that's a lot of it too, is just because the time you put in console. With PC, you have a lot of mods that make the game a little bit easier, in my
Easier,
opinion.
eh?
Because I
Yeah.
have PC and I have Xbox because I have editor. So I mean, I've definitely played some PC servers. Tried out a couple buddies that are server owners. I tried their PC test run servers out. And just there's so much more ability to do stuff in PC that it's not that big of a struggle compared to console. Console is more of the nitty gritty part, I feel, of DayZ, which is why it separates it a little more. Like, I honestly prefer console over PC, only because I like making stuff look apocalyptic, but I'm not a big fan of having 500 mods that bring in like Ferraris and stuff like that, you know. I'm more of like the like full apocalyptic style stuff, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel console we're still more in touch with how the game's supposed to be.
that's it. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day actually, about how and we've brought it up a few times. No matter how many things that they put in PC, like like, ooh, look, we got dinosaurs, ooh, giant spiders, ooh, we got this, and people run over and they'll play it for a while. It'll be like the trend for a couple of weeks, and then, but even PC players, they always go back to the OG. Look at the
Yep,
top
that's
streamers,
it.
man. They
Yep.
always stream on like OG DayZ.
On
So,
apocalyptic,
That's it.
I
battle
mean,
in the freshies,
mm,
battle in that low gear. It's not ever, often, it's a long run
yeah.
before they obtain that high gear. Yeah, 100%.
So,
Absolutely.
I don't get too hard up about what PC has compared to console because at the end of the day, it's only like a little flash in the pan. Have a little play and then back to the back to the OG game.
Right. It's nice while it lasts, but OG is always OG. That's usually how my
Yeah.
opinion goes on it.
I tell you what, someone in chat's getting all hard up over you. Holy shit, you and on it a thing, are you? Is that your
Oh,
boy? Loves
well,
you,
what was he saying
Shawnee.
about me? I'm
He's
sure he doesn't.
he's
just
saying
No, all
appreciation.
good things.
Yeah, well,
he
appreciation.
wants to give you a gastro bug. He wants to give you a quick
Thank you, Anna.
Actually, speaking
Oh,
of on it, he's dropped a question: is if you played experimental, how is everyone finding the new melee damage with the zombies hitting a lot harder?
I mean, we still got to make it out of experimental, obviously. So I'm sure something will change, but I'm honestly so for it really, in my opinion, they're not trying to make it harder. Is what they're trying to do is make it make more sense. So if you have melee gear on that is heavy, heavyweight, heavier gear, it's gonna stop more hits. Is what they're trying to do versus you getting more cuts. You're supposed to cushion the blow now and actually matter. Like the only thing that actually has protective bonuses against anything are plate carriers and plate carriers like the vest really don't have anything against like they're supposed to. So once they I mean, if they are hitting harder in experimental, hopefully they do fix that because that's one of their biggest aims at this update is getting the zombie AI to be more efficient on how it, realistic, I should say, on how it operates and runs and all that stuff. So there's definitely a lot that potential there, so hopefully that does come around and we get to see that actually happen because that will make, in my opinion, the game a lot more realistic, and that's literally all I'm about is making the game realistic, giving it the apocalyptic feel and making it getting it away from Arma and more
Yep,
or less not a lot of these
not an army
servers, a
game.
lot of these servers. Yeah, well, and a lot of these servers, in my opinion, no hate on anybody. Everyone's got their own style. I try to pertain to everybody, but in my opinion, a lot of these servers are trying to make their server more like Arma again, instead of just opening up a Arma server, which they could do. So, which is more or less they just have zombies, and that's why I'm trying to actually reformat the map into an apocalyptic feel, and get it into a much more realistic stage to where you're playing the game, and it's like holy shit, I haven't been here, I haven't been there, I don't even know where I'm at, and that's more or less what we achieved so far.
Yeah, I'm liking with
A lot to
the
it, man.
the PC stuff coming over, the nature mods, the ability to change the map. I'm enjoying getting lost again.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
I do
that's
love
why
those
I
nature
want
ones. Holy shit.
I've been doing a lot of nature stuff on my server too with the somewhat of ability to do it, but my biggest thing I want to be able to do once they have actual mod support, I want quest lines. That's going to change the game. There's so many people that play this game that are PvPers and all this other stuff, but be able to take a break from that and actually go and play the game and run the map and see lore and have something built up, in my opinion, is a game changer. You know, it takes the game that's already a decent game and changes it into something with a lot more potential into it and a lot more stuff to do, you know.
Yeah.
And like my labyrinth bunker, the first run on it, I had a guy take 7 hours because everyone kept saying they're running my other bunker in like 30 minutes, yada yada. So I was like, all right, I'll make a bunker you guys can't beat, you know. And the first run takes anywhere from, if you don't have a guide, it takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours just to run through it your first time until you realize what the maze is. And you know, it's just having that ability to run something. It's like, holy shit, I just got out of an 8-hour maze, you know. It's different. You're
And
not used to
completed
it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, and not having enough space to carry everything out because you found all the secrets. You know, there's so much hidden in that labyrinth maze that, you know, the game just changes in good ways.
Wait. Hold up. So this is on your server at the moment. You've got
Yep.
a labyrinth.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, what are your spawns? Is there a spawn close to it,
So
or what's it
you
located?
kinda.
Yeah.
We actually have 12 spawns, and we used to only have like 2 or 3 spawns, but we have 12 spawns now. Every single one of them is right next to one of the maps that are in game built, so you guys can see where you're at with the red dot exactly, like the ones that are already pre-built into the game, trail marking ones. So you spawn next to one of those at all 12 spots, and then there's also a set of stairs in case you feel like you don't want that spawn, so you can just jump off and change spots. But it's honestly, you can find a couple spawns up north that are high enough to where you only have to run like 10, 15 minutes. But and I give you a flashlight
Okay.
too. There's flashlights at the entrance. But making it through, beating all the zombies, and just the
Yeah.
all pure chaos that that labyrinth is, it's worth it. It's fun, but it's also a very big challenge. So,
Yeah, we
and
went
there's
in.
three
Okay,
doors you
so
got to pick from too.
What do we do? Four. Was it four of us or three of us? I think it was three of us we ran
All went
through.
into the, yeah.
Yeah. And full military style, calling out reloads. Yeah, that was hectic.
Yep.
That was hectic.
yeah, so so gear up heaps
Yeah.
before you attempt it,
Yep.
or should you like can you attempt it and just gear up as you go?
You can if you're good. If you feel like you're confident enough
Oh
to
yeah,
get
we're
away from
good.
the zombies, which is not really too hard. I have very aesthetic creators, so there's a lot of different areas that you can take advantage of that you know, pretty much like anything apocalyptic style, like, you know, rubble piles that you can get on. I'm sure they can't get you at, you know, if you got to get out of the way. But dude, there's a lot to that bunker. And then we have a southern bunker that's the Pelona bunker, and that's in stage 3 out of 5 because they're so massive. I got to build them in stages, but yeah, they're both equally as big. It's just the labyrinth is pitch black. I actually did the bunker effects, I guess you could say, properly throughout
Mm.
that whole entire bunker. So it dims down your light when you go through the entrance. You have 3 doors to pick from. One of them just a dead door. If you'll notice when you open it, it just makes you waste a punch card pretty much. And then the other door goes down a tunnel, and when you jump over the railing, you're stuck and you can't get back out. And there's probably 50 zombies in there. And the other one's the actual entrance to the bunker, though, and that will take you
So
through however long it takes
we
you to
need a
go through
punch
there.
card.
Yeah,
Yep.
You get
you can get those
are
on
the
mummy
punch
zombies.
cards? Are the punch
Mummy
cards like
zombies.
easy to find? Oh, mummies. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's north of the map. North of the map. Need a punch card, which you got to get off zombies. Get some gear before you attempt it, and IRL also make a pack lunch because you're going to be there for about 6
That's
hours.
it. Backpack full of water.
Yeah.
And
Well, and we
batteries.
also we also have achievements too throughout that bunker. So I also have a very custom build, which is probably one of I call it one of my master builds. It's something I put my absolutely all into, and it's called the Rocket Room. And is what it
Ooh.
is I built an entire control room that has like almost a opening to it, and you can see this rocket that I took with DayZ pieces, and I formatted an actual rocket looking gigantic rocket, and had big opening bay doors on it and whatnot. I should have sent those guys to you before, but you get 25 grand in Discord cash if you actually get a picture of it, and it is an absolute beautiful build. It looks exactly like you would think a control room with all the desks and TVs, and then all the actual rocket room itself. It took me forever to make an actual rocket, make it look like a rocket, and Yeah, that's definitely one of the coolest spots of the labyrinth that you can get to.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I want a picture with the rocket. So do you have pictures of it in your Discord that we can like have a look, or
Absolutely.
not? Oh, you
Yep.
do?
And
Okay.
we have
And
a whole clips and highlights page where everyone takes pictures with it and stuff like that.
oh, nice.
That's it.
And so what town is the actual bunker in?
Busy.
Oh, it's in Tizzy. Okay.
It,
All right.
yeah, it's all the way up north. It's all the way in
I don't know if you'll make
the
it this
shooting
Smiley.
range.
Yeah, she's only been there once.
Not on the
Oh, I'll
coast.
make it. I'll be.
It's a fun time.
A few times, if you count like where I was last night. I actually know it like the back of a hand now.
Yep.
I've been lost there quite a few times now.
uh,
So, is it you're whitelisted or?
Yes, we are a waitlist server, only because we've had a lot of problems in the past with not trying to do it, so always learn from my mistakes.
that's it.
Okay, I see that you've got rule number 6. I just joined your Discord. Rule number 6: no nudity. Explain that to me.
It's explained. It's explained. Try to stay as professional as we can.
Are you talking about in the Discord, or you mean like you
Yeah.
know like in game? Or we have to
You
keep our
can't
clothes
send
on
your
in game,
nudes
or
to the
what?
Discord.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Leave.
Alright. Hang on, making myself some notes about your server. I've got Tizzy, Gear Up, Punch Card, Zombies, Mummies,
No nudes.
no nudes.
Yep. Pretty
Roger
much.
that.
All right, you good?
Okay. Yeah, I think I've got it all. All right, yes, I'm good. Sorry, boss.
So
Need
to reverse
Did a
it,
little.
are you preparing anything for 1.21 update? Have you prepped your server? You prepped your community? What's your plans for the update? Smiley.
Oh, me.
More or less. Oh, you
Yeah,
heard.
yeah,
Oh, her?
yeah.
No.
She's also
Yeah, no, I'm not.
We'll just show you the
Yeah,
other side of
I'm
what it's like
professional.
owning servers.
Well, the same as what I did the last update. Absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing.
Let it flow in.
Just let it roll.
Yep.
Let it just take its natural course. If it wants to update itself and do whatever it wants itself, it can go right ahead. Otherwise, it's just going to continue on as it is. My peeps don't like change over there. They don't like change. My little hermits, they're over there building their little bases and stuff. If I went in there and said, I'm going to make a change, they'd fucking freak out. It's just staying as is. Probably just add in the fanny packs everywhere. I'm just going to put a fanny pack in every house, the pink and blue ones. Just every house is going to have a fanny pack. That's pretty well it.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Yeah, that's a bum bag. Or a, what are they called in the game?
Nah, yeah, no, they're called. I think they're called fanny packs in the game.
Are they actually called a fanny pack? There's the word
Yeah,
fanny in there.
we call them bum bags. Well, fanny's not rude in some parts
Yeah.
of the fucking like. It does.
I know. I never understand
Yeah.
that. Like a fanny's, the girls' pieces. It's not a butt.
Yeah, it's a vagina.
Wrong with
It's
the
a
rest of
vagina.
the world.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why we call it fanny pack, 'cause it sits on your fanny. It sits at the front on your flaps. Just rests on
Yeah,
your
but
flaps.
it used to be
You
used to
got
have
big
it
enough
behind
flaps.
you. You used to have it behind you on your hips back when they first were around. That's why they're called bum bags.
Oh, on your hip.
Yeah, but it'll still be
Yeah.
sitting on your ass
Yeah, but-
cheek.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't know. You didn't have it
Yeah.
in your butt. You have it in your frontish, isn't it? So that you can keep your shit nice and close, and so no one can like rob you and shit. Isn't that the whole point of,
No,
of them?
I think
That's
they're
what
actually
it's
designed for
about.
cycling. So you can have it.
So you can-
So you can have it on your back, and you can pull out snacks and stuff on your back. That's what they're actually designed for, from memory. And then they went fluoro, and every kid with sandals had them.
Sandals and socks. Every kid who had sandals and socks
Had a fucking bum
had a
bag.
and a hypercolor t-shirt.
That's it. Like I reckon they're going to be an influence to the game, especially if they readjust the server loot and do what they're going to do, which is military bags will end up like Lars. Your mega turtle bag will be rare as hen's teeth. So supplier
Oh,
issue.
King has
Mounted bags should be harder to find.
Yeah.
King's done some research in the chat. He's made it. It's official. Fanny in little inverted commas. Buttocks, 1920, American English, from earlier British meaning
Vulva. So how does that make
vulva.
sense? So once again,
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
the
fuck?
English were calling it a fanny pack, and the Americans went, "Yep, we're going to call the fanny now our buttocks."
Right.
Just to be difficult. Fuck their British scum.
Maybe they think it's all just one piece down there. They think it's just like the front meets the back edge, so it's just all one thing.
Just one crack.
You know? Like it's just one crack. Have you heard about those chicks that give birth and they like push so hard that it just becomes one? It rips them. It rips their
Rips
vagina.
them. Oh, poor woman. At
Yeah,
least they get an extra
and then-
stitch or two. Lucky husbands.
Extra stitch or two. Oh yeah. So, yeah. Did I tell you about that time? Oh, anyway, that's another.
Podcast. All right. So we'll move on to
That's
tech
our next
support. That's it. Yeah, that's Smiley's question. How far have you been torn?
Yeah.
And to add to your mystery about what she was going to say, I have actually sewn that wall up. So anyway, let's let's leave that
I'm a
there.
unicorn now.
No.
I'm a beautiful unicorn.
No, I'm talking about. All right, so that's a large portion of the podcast being cut in the final copy. So we're going to move on to tech support. So Nitrado servers can have issues. Sean, what's your experience with them?
Sorry, say it one more time.
My
mic cut out just for a second.
You're good. Yeah, Nitrado servers can have issues. What's your experience with our providers?
Oh, well, I feel like they should, honestly, if we're speaking honest over here, I feel like they need to invest all the money they're making into a better networking system that actually can handle the overload power that most of the servers bring to them, because even with them having different ports for bigger servers or whatever that can handle more, it's still not enough to handle. A lot of the time, especially being an only stream game, like you can't buy a hard copy of this game. If you download it, it's still streaming from wherever they're at. It's always going to be a stream game. So in all honesty, I feel like they probably should upgrade their stuff. Other than that, I mean, it's more or less just normal technical problems, you know. They're pretty good at telling you if something's going on before it happens, but there's always that one time or two times that they don't, you know, and you got to kind of figure out on your own. But as far as actually hitting them up for support, as long as their IM thing is open, they're great at answering. They'll work with you most of the time and sit with you until they figure it all out. So, I mean, it goes hand in hand. I'll give them a 50% satisfaction.
Oh, that's not bad. 5 out of 10 stars.
That's quite funny you say that, because I do notice a lot of server owners tend to have really bad communication with Nitrado, with them usually just not answering back to things for days and stuff like that. So that's good to hear that you can keep that good rapport open with them.
Yeah, well, and yeah, definitely. And they have such a small, even help team on Nitrado. Like, their actual help team is only like 6 or 7 people, so it doesn't take long being a server owner to talk to all those people, you know what I mean? Through different help tickets. So, I mean, they might have gotten more in the last year, but from last time I remember, the guy even told me, he's like, dude, we have a very small team here, because I kept getting them over and over again. So it honestly, in my opinion, being so small actually is good, because sometimes they might get overwhelmed, but other times, you know, you can build a relationship more or less with them, which means like, hey man, come on, you know, I've been here a couple times, you know, and they'll be like, yeah, you're right. Or, you know, being a customer with them also for over a year, you start to build a little bit more rapport with them and respect. So they're also going to look out for you more because they know you're not just, I'm going to buy a server for a month and then shut it off. They know you're a solid contract. You're making them solid money every month. You're guaranteed. So they want to keep you happy. So it really, it just all depends on how much money you're bringing them, just like any other business, really.
100%. I've only dealt with them once or twice, and I've never had an issue with them. It was actually a point
It,
of the server glitched when I tried to expand one of my servers, and sometimes you got to go on the Xbox, you buy the server, and then you got to go back and you got to redeem it for some unknown reason, and it just gave me a new server,
yep.
and I'm like, I don't want a fucking new server. I want this time added onto that, and within 2 days, the time had been added on. The server was on deletion out of my account, and it was done and dusted and sorted. So, yeah, and that was just a quick email
That's it.
and a little chat with them through live chat. So,
Yeah, that's actually quite refreshing to hear actually good things about Nitrado for once.
Well, and a lot of people who don't, I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of the negative comments towards Bohemia or like towards anything that, involves that, Nitrado, Bohemia, all that. I feel like a lot of people have ill intentions towards it for reasons that they don't even know what they're talking about, more or less. Like, if you're very educated in this kind of line of field, then you know what's going on. I mean, as far as DayZ goes, in my opinion, no, they have their time frames too close together. They need to cut out half of their updates a year and focus on certain things literally for that one update. But their experimental servers, it's not really a foolproof plan, because if you have experimental editor and regular editor, they act two totally different things. Same game, two different types of coding. Well, same coding, but you know what I mean. It's not all exactly the same. So
yeah,
I don't know. They have a little bit to go, but I mean, it's still in its what, beta or alpha or whatever. It's almost fully out and produced, but it's not. We're not going to see that on this game engine. They're just trying to keep everyone entertained while they do Arma 4. Once Arma 4 drops, you best believe DayZ 2 is most likely right behind it. They would be
yeah,
fools not to. It's literally DayZ has funded their entire project more than Arma Reforger has by tenfold for their new Arma 4 drop. And when that drops, we're in there. And that's going to be a whole different ball game. This game, the original DayZ will still stay populated, I feel, but that merge is going to be, it's just going to be game changer. You can have mods where dogs are walking with you, or you see cats running on the street. You can do anything,
yep,
and it'll
Oh,
be
I
more
love that.
realistic. Yeah, it'd be more
yep.
realistic to see just nature doing its thing, and
Rats
you playing the
scurrying
game.
into
Yeah,
the garbage.
That would be amazing, and you could do that. We once we get mod support, anything's possible.
Yep,
And there's so much stuff that people don't do because there's so many good coders that honestly don't mess with computer games. They don't. They're the console gamers. They code for, I've seen some amazing stuff come out of Bethesda's uh, libraries of, content creators, as far as Fallout and all those other games that are around there. They have mod support, and some of those mods are absolutely game changing, but they're not on PC. There's a lot of those that are console only. And that's the thing. We have split diversity when it comes to coders, and yeah, I feel like once Bohemia more or less catches up to the ball game, which Microsoft is freaking doing very good for them by keeping their game one of the longest games on Game Pass. Like, it's keeping the community flowing. So I mean, we have a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of investment into this game, so if people don't think DayZ 2's coming, they're crazy. They just don't know the gaming community.
yep,
They don't know how it works and the profits it brings. Like, this game is like, it's ignorant, man, how much money they make. I mean, me alone, for even having, not thousands and thousands of players, like, even my server alone cost me upwards, between all the bots and the server itself and everything I do to keep the server running, is upwards to $400 to $500 a month. And that's, Nitrado keeps upping their prices now, so they're making bank. They're making absolutely too much money to turn this game away and leave it in the dust. It's cutting edge as far as apocalyptic games go. They have the grail, the holy grail.
yep.
The DayZ is the holy grail for apocalyptic games, because you can do whatever you.
Oh,
Whatever you. Oh,
oh, we lost him on that one. The end of that
I think
is
he was
whatever
gonna
you
say
want.
want.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever you want. I don't know what happened there.
Whatever you want to put inside me is what he was gonna say.
So if you
It's
had a
like, put in there in
cutout,
chat.
try go into a party and then come back to game chat.
Yeah, it's not a battery issue because he's still
Yeah,
moving.
he's still
It's definitely
shuffling.
a chat issue.
Unless it's a headset issue. He's now running around the house looking for headset batteries. Nope. No, can't hear him. That was weird.
What?
Yeah.
Working?
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the trick. In the
Yeah,
party and
my
it's
You're back.
swapped.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did that, and my controller, I didn't touch it for a while, so it went through desync mode.
Turned off.
That's what happens
Yeah,
when
we
you
do
don't touch
that.
your lady for a while.
That's
She
right.
gets turned off.
That's why you
I know,
see
that's right.
what looks to be greedy having like little twitches here and there. That's just me fiddling with my controller to keep it awake.
Yep.
All right, so
Yeah, so there's a lot to it, man.
there is it definitely has the matrix for something absolutely huge. So we're going to move on to community service. So if you could go back to day one, when you decided to pick up the server, unknowing of what you're in for, what would be your best advice for yourself?
Um,
Don't do it.
Pay someone
let's
to
see.
do it.
I would have to say making my number one role the number one role before I even started this, just right off the bat. So
What's the number one rule?
my number one role on my server, which is repeated through every document that has roles attached to it, the Discord, DayZ, faction, everything. It's posted multiple times. Number one rule is no bitching. This is a game. If you start bitching about stupid shit, you'll immediately be banned. And honestly, once I did that about 6 months ago, this server has ran very smooth. Everything stays in the shit talk channel. People get petty and upset and stuff, and honestly, no one even tries to counter them. They just say, "Hey, number one rule, no bitching," and everyone just stops. So having something in place to where you're not letting people walk over you more or less right off the bat, because if you don't have something that says, "Hey, you can do whatever you guys want, but don't come on here acting like you just lost a real life thing." It's a game. Play it as a game. You get salty, keep it in the game. Don't bring it into real life. That's more or less what that rule is talking about. Play the game, keep it as the game. Don't start bringing someone's family into it and other shit like that. So having something in place that lets people know that, hey, you can play a badass server, but as soon as you start causing problems, more or less, we're not dealing with that shit. You can leave immediately. And
so
if you don't want to
basically
leave,
keeps
we'll
Yeah.
make you leave.
Solid.
That's it.
Keeps out the
Well-
toxicity. Yeah, that's good. That's
Well,
good.
and we don't even, and honestly, I have not banned one single person for that role. I mean, we've had a couple people start bitching. Obviously, it's DayZ.
Yep.
You're never gonna prevent it all the way, but as long as it stays in shit talk, I don't care. I have that channel muted for my own server because that's what that channel's for. But I have enough players that do respect me and that have been here long enough that are like, hey, this was said in shit talk, and if my bot didn't catch it, I do. And I have a couple bots just to watch out for like racial slurs or derogatory language or anything surrounding those categories. So if that doesn't get caught, then I do step in, and I'm pretty fast about it. Because again, people have respect for me enough to tell me about the one channel I don't have notifications for. So but after that role, man, it's been a cakewalk. It's been nice. People don't really kind of step on your toes anymore. And my whole thing was, if you don't have that role, you're going to have your back put up against the wall. People are going to ride your roles all the way to the fine line to where you have to make hard decisions that literally could kill your community, and having your back up against the wall is probably the biggest thing that's going to drop your server from being a successful server. You want to have it in there pretty much that if they fuck around, they find out. And you want that to be known right off the bat. Now, it's different for me because I uphold that non-toxic stuff. You can ask anybody who's played my server. I play a very, very, very fair game. So and I make it all my admins do the same. If not, I have no problem getting rid of them because I uphold my vision. So, there's no reason really to bitch. Everything works out. After that role, man, it's been a cakewalk. So I would definitely tell myself to get that established and make sure people know, like, hey, man, again, you could play a badass server, but we're not going to deal with your petty shit. We're grown-ups. We're not children, so we're not going to deal with this high school level drama where you're starting to involve everything. So yeah, I don't know. That's how I look at that.
Yeah, no, definitely good advice. Great advice. Don't be soft. Don't be.
Yeah, perfect advice.
Yeah, don't be fucking beating around the
Well,
bush.
with respect too.
Yeah, of course.
And be respectful, but don't let someone think that they pay the bills on your server when you're the one who pays the bills on your server.
Yeah,
That's it.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So tickets are the best way of communicating with the admin team on Discord. Do you have any best tickets, for weirdest tickets, crazy tickets that you of your admin team have had to deal with? Anyone that,
Ooh.
have you got one that points out, you go, oh, I remember that one. This was, you don't have to disclose names or anything like that, but maybe just a little background
Just
or
leave
anything
the
like
names
that.
out, but tell us all about the fucktards.
Let's see. Shit, we have so many tickets per day. It's ridiculous. Like right now, I'm looking at probably 30 help tickets, whatever, and just with all the players. But honestly, probably we haven't had anything like off the top crazy. Unfortunately, that would have been funny. But we've definitely had people getting as far as like being petty. So, and the petty stuff gets to be pretty sad after a while. Like there'll be players that will sit here and post, like we have a rule that says when you're raiding, don't drop stuff on the ground. We consider that griefing or whatever, and it causes server lag, more or less.
Yep.
Well, people literally see like a half-eaten apple. Let's just use that as an example, even though it's not a thing. They'll see that on the ground, take a picture, and be like, "Look at this! I want this guy banned." Yada 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 yada. And so, more or less, I guess just the petty tickets. Yeah, dude, and it's literally some of the stupidest stuff too, because everything obviously has its limits. So, if one or two or even 10 things are on the ground, that's part of raiding. But if you drop all the tents in a base and everything's just left there, that's considered griefing.
Yeah,
So,
or what they call
and we'll have
popcorning.
people. That's it, yeah. And people literally, dude, when it comes to raid weekend, which thankfully, again, after that number one role came in, we don't have any of those help tickets no more, but that are pretty much like that. But as far as like anything else goes, we have those. But I mean, we also get the rude people. Like recently, we've had a group that, I mean, no disrespect towards them, but they must be people who don't have a job or live a life or anything because they expected us to one of our black market. Our black market only runs like 1 or 2 days a week. Well, they'll literally be sitting there like, why is our order not done? We put it in like 2 hours ago. So just the rude shit you have to deal with as admins behind closed doors and all that stuff. Yeah, and demanding and just pure ignorance, honestly, through a lot of players who think again that they pay the bills and you don't. So, but I don't know. Maybe one day we'll get a pretty fun ticket. I'll share it with you guys in chat.
Yeah, that still blows my mind how demanding and shit people are on servers and how much they
It's
give
crazy.
the server owners grief. And it's like, I'm paying for this. Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
they just totally don't get that. It's like you owe them something.
Yeah,
It's
and
so
that's it. And
bizarre.
one of the biggest things for me is, a lot of us bigger server owners have a lot of stuff to keep servers running fresh and good and, to where everything it runs good and for the most part, because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably got like close to 15 bots that I have on my Discord just to keep like I have 2 kill feeds and everything. So, I mean, I keep everything on top of shit. So, I don't like to miss anything. I have everything very organized and built up and stuff like that. And but, my biggest thing is you'll have players that when someone like we have another rule that we had to make about donations for for our game because a lot of times we get a lot of donations that keep our server running We're building up a savings to start doing giveaways and stuff on the regular. We just don't want to start doing it now and not have donations come through again, more or less, and not be able to do it again. So we want to keep it running, and we're building up a good thing for there. But we actually made a rule that says that, if you want to bitch, how does it go? Donations keep the server running with everything we have. If you do not agree with donations, that is fine. I literally will have people come into my server, take a screenshot of my donation stuff and all the people that sent donations, and go post it to Facebook. So yeah, the petty nature of this game is crazy. It's crazy how petty people can get. So we had to make that a rule too. And I even said at the bottom in real small print, says just because you don't feel the need to pay a content creator for a server unlike any other and support the work they do, does not mean you can belittle others for having more compassion than you do. So more or less, like,
very
yeah,
nice.
like we have to,
Nice.
yeah. So there's a lot of people in this game that feel like you pretty much they demand you to do this.
Yeah.
They don't care how much time you take off out of your schedule. They don't care how many days you miss with your kids growing up. They don't care about none of that. They want their stuff right now. They don't. Nothing else matters at that point. So I guess that's my biggest thing with DayZ is just having all the little crybabies more or less on servers. It's just like play the game or don't play the game. Play the server, don't play the server. There's thousands of us out here, but if you want to play a server that, is as sophisticated and put together as ours is, in my opinion, it comes with a maintenance, and you're not required to donate. If someone says, hey, do you need a donation? I say, no, I never need a donation, but we'll never deny one. If you want to donate, absolutely. And I document it for the whole server to see. Every time I get donation, goes in a public document so everyone can see everything we have coming into the server.
Yeah, it is definitely a tricky thing to deal with when it comes with taking money from players. I also think a lot of players tend to come in and donate and thinking they'll get some benefits.
Special treatment,
Yeah,
stuff like
special
that,
treatment and stuff like that. Be able to bend rules and say, hey, I'm a donator. You won't get your cash. But when it comes down to it, if you don't have that hard line control of your server, things get out of whack. And you are right, people
and that's it.
get all offended about, taking donations. Yeah, I know it's in the T's and C's. I know you can get around it. You can ask permission from the Trader. You can ask permission from
That's what I did.
yeah, the game itself to establish the right connections and
Takes
do it the
5
right way.
minutes.
Yep, that's all you got to do.
Takes 5 minutes.
You
Literally takes 5 minutes. You make an email account with Bohemia and you just sign up, and then you wait like a month or two, and then you're approved almost every time.
Yep, because they don't care. They don't
Really?
mind.
Keeps you out of
Yeah.
the legal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps you out of the legal bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, pay to wins
Okay.
definitely don't help servers. That's how you kill a server. But like
And
everything,
that's exactly what we don't do.
Yeah.
Yep. We have such a ban on what we load in that we literally follow Bohemia's donation rules to the T. So if a donation's a donation, there's some things we can do, but other times, all of our donations are legal and done properly. I've never had someone try to get a refund, and I've definitely had players, though, think that they could get a little more out of life more than what is offered on the donations thing. So we're very fair on how we do everything. So if one person if one person is, doing something a certain way that we made them do, we make the next person do that, just so there's no like, hey, he got to do this, hey, she got to do this, and I didn't get to do that. Everything stays on a fair level playing board all the way through and through. So, and again, almost our biggest community is 30, 40, 50-year-old people. These aren't kids. They're not people who are borrowing money from them trying to actually get a life built.
that's it.
This is
From
people who have
all
established
mum's
lives.
wallet.
This is people, yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is their money. This is, grown-ass adults who have a little bit more understanding on the concept of how life runs. You pay Netflix how much a month to sit there and watch Netflix. It's the same damn thing
Yep.
of spending 40, 50, 60 hours a week on a game that someone else created, because you like their server. That's how I look at it. We're never required donations. I make salary where I work, so I never need money to run the server. I built it the way I did, and I can afford to pay for it the way I did. So that's why we're able to take the donations and flip it over into shit that's actually beneficial for the server and the community. Because again, I started this on compassion for the game, and whatnot. So I never did it to sit there and line my pockets. It's not a thing. I have a career. You know, I'm older. You know, I make salary, so I'm guaranteed pay every single week, and my job's not going anywhere. So, you know, I can afford what this server is right now. So anything donation-wise is just a pro bono for everyone in there. And so, I mean, yeah, donations is a very touchy thing on DayZ,
Yep.
but honestly, if you don't have the money to donate, don't worry about it, in my opinion. You know, we appreciate you either way. You don't have to donate to be the most liked player in the server. Sometimes the most liked player in the server is the guy who helps out every new person who joins the server. That guy has more respect than someone who donates $500 a month.
Correct.
Know? So it just goes by more or less in our server. It goes by a rule of respect and, you know, keeping everything fair. Everything's fair across the board. No one gets special treatment. No one gets more than others. Everything is completely fair, and you know, and that's how we roll it. You know, like
Yeah.
admins are allowed to have a base, and it can get raided during raid weekend. But admins are absolute. Oh, my bad. In-game Discord admins don't have any game-changing information, but in-game admins do. They have access to P-locks and all that fancy shit. So they're not allowed to raid a base unless they get the approval from the faction leader and a setup thing that we have called Faction Wars. So
Yep.
admins are only allowed to raid base pretty much on a schedule, like that is agreed upon by the base we're attacking. Other than that, people are allowed to raid us, which is unfair to us, but hey, it doesn't matter. We like the PvP. We
That's
like
it.
getting raided
Gives
and
you
having
something else to
rebuilt
do.
because we get. Exactly. So we try to keep everything 100% fair across the board. And again, even to be someone of power that could make changing shit that does affect a server, you have to be in my server for 6+ months. I have to know you before I give you any power at all.
Yeah.
So dude, it's a tricky thing to get these servers to run. But the biggest thing is don't give up. Just keep going. If it's not catching on the first try, you know, try to change something up that's drawing people away. You know, if your rules seem fine to you, but you know it might, if people are telling you that it's like arbitrary to them, you know, listen to them. It's not about you as a server owner. It is not about you at all. You can take your ideas and your thoughts and your compassion and put it into the server, but when it comes to how it runs and how it's supposed to be played, you know, more or less, you got to go with what the players want.
You've got
It's
yep.
not like
You've
once
got to
you start
listen.
doing a server, you got to give, yeah. Want to do a regular, like for me, if I want to go and get nitty gritty and be toxic, I go on official servers.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're gonna be a server owner, you gotta be dedicated, and you gotta actually play it the right way. Because if not, is all you're gonna do. You might make it a couple months, but you're eventually gonna fail. Even if you do fill a 50 slot every day for a couple weeks, eventually toxicity is gonna bring down a server.
Yeah, it always does. And that's funny that you say if you need to go vent some steam, you go into a visual and be toxic as hell.
Yep.
It's the place for it. It
Some
is.
guy,
It's the place for it.
some guy, yep. Some guy walks up like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, boom.
That's it. Done. Dead. Dead.
Drop 'em
Dusted
like, yeah.
and over with.
Makes you feel better. Yep.
And just touching back on the donations and stuff, if you've got enough servers and enough donations and stuff that you can live off that, fucking hats off to you. Because
Right?
that
And that's it, man.
that's a near impossible feat when it comes to the cost and, you know, trying to drum up enough donations to be able to support the servers, the bots, and your life. Yeah, I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't think you could make a living
No.
off having DayZ servers. So,
Nope, you can't.
Nitrado's actually
Not
got
even if you have 4 or 5 of them.
That's right, and Nitrado's got things in place like server boosting, where the money doesn't even get anywhere near the owner. It just gets added onto the server time. You can just do it like that, and done and dusted. Your little
Yep.
Yeah,
contribution.
keeps it clean that way.
Yeah. No dirty hands into the money tin.
You know, if you did allow those nudes, though, you probably would be able to, as a as a business, have a
I mean,
full-time
we do
income.
have an
Just saying.
NSFW page, I guess, but
Well, yeah, what are we talking about here? An OnlyFans DayZ server.
OnlyFans Discord.
I actually heard that Fifi is getting that up and running. It's only a DayZ OnlyFans. He's already got such a big cult following.
Oh, his little OnlyFans.
He's little only fans.
All right, we'll move on to the freshy way. So how long till you're no longer fresh? He's fast, isn't he?
Trying to answer that question.
I told him.
Sit down and answer the question.
Don't listen to
He
them.
told me. I
Yeah,
could
don't listen.
Just took you both out.
I would have.
Let you get
I
going.
fucking would have. Oh,
Who's this?
so we'll ask you. How long till you're no longer fresh? Did you get him?
Yeah, probably not too long.
Probably not too long. So once you at least get some decent gear, something.
Yeah. Yeah. So this has been a great podcast.
Once
so,
you get that
I'm
fanny
pretty sure
pack, then you go
I dropped
hell for
I
leather.
dropped your one co-host.
Fresh.
Got you in the leg.
He got the second one. GG, my friends. Be warned, they will be back.
Yeah, GG.
But we appreciate you coming in. Don't forget,
I
ladies and
appreciate it,
gentlemen,
Greedy man.
if you want to get involved with Judgment DayZ, get involved. Oh, revenge will be his. I'll fuck you up. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time that we have for the podcast. We'd like to thank our guests for coming. Oops, sorry, go again. We'd like to thank our guests for coming out to the podcast, as well as our co-host for helping the podcast come together. Shout out to the community for coming along and sharing your opinions. You can catch the edited version of the podcast on my YouTube. And if you have any questions you'd like to ask to our guests, or you'd like to be on the show, get along to the Discord. And of course, drop your name there. Mr. Danny Black, we will schedule you. Don't worry about it, my friend. We will, life happens.
Look at this outfit. Look at my face. Look at this.
That looks cool with the dark eyes.
It does, huh? Yeah, you put the mask in. I see you, Q.
Yeah, after about 20 minutes.
Aiming at it back. Yeah. You're lucky I went 30s. I see in my third person view.
Alright, love you all.
Oh,
Bye.
you missed.
Bye.
You missed.
Bye.
Missed.
Bye.
Give me the arrow.
Bye.
Give me the arrow. Oh, lovely.
I just did it in the butt cheek. I didn't think it would actually kill him.
That's it. Well, it does.
Cheeks aren't juicy enough.
Boop.
Alright.
Yeah.
Right in your butthole.
Oh, she took
Talked at
it.
the right moment.
She took it.
Totally did.
Oh, there we go. That's what I was waiting for.